This is probably my last big comic purchase of 2025. Let's get into it. What's up guys, this is John and you're watching Old Stuff is Cool. So I've got a unboxing for you today. I don't typically do a lot of these, but I'm super excited for the books contained in this package. I'm gonna open this one up, but 2025 is quickly coming to a close. And as I mentioned at the top of the video, this is probably the last big purchase. I got a great deal on these books from someone I've bought from regularly over this past year, maybe a year and a half. And this is from my buddy Dan from the Facebook claim group that I've been a part of. So if you're at all curious, I'll be sure to leave a link below. Also, I'm generally terrible at doing unboxings, so hopefully the crinkly sounds that go along with my narration is a good thing. Now, Dan always does a great packing job. So, first we have something that will keep water out. And this is something that I do typically when I'm shipping out comic books or things in general. You never want like rain or snow to ruin a product. Then we've got the good old, what do you call this? Just the plain envelope as an extra bit barrier. And Dan's very clever here. He's using all these free packed materials that you can get from the United States Postal Service. So we got the padded bag here. And I'll do my best to share the prices. I think that's one thing I've been trying to do more, just for sake of transparency and just to be able to share that information and knowledge, which sometimes can be very hush-hush. I think my main worry is I don't want to come off as bragging, I guess. But in that way, if someone's really like gouging prices, I think it's hard to really know. I mean, hopefully we're all checking, eBay sold prices, and even then there's other factors. If you're shopping at a brick and mortar store, they gotta pay rent, they've got employees to pay and whatnot. So that is often something that we don't know when calculating a price. One good thing about the buy-sell trade, the claim group, is they're usually private sellers and typically other fans selling to fans. So in the meantime, this is another padded envelope, so super secure here. And yes, another paper envelope. So, I mean, I never really have to worry that books coming from Dan are gonna not survive the trip. It's like a Russian nesting doll of envelopes. And envelopes of different kinds. Oh, that was loud. Finally, the books. So Dan had this kind of end of the year big blowout sale. I actually set a reminder in my calendar so that I wouldn't miss it, because Dan, he typically does like a super good deal of the day a few times a week, and this whole sale was just like good deals, in my opinion at least. I also had some previous claims from older sales, so you'll see some of that. And let's go with some freebies first. And thank you so much, Dan. You didn't have to pack these in there, but I surely appreciate it. We got Moon Girl and Devil Dinosaur. This is such a cool cover. Issue number 21. I'm not sure if these are like alternate versions or evil doppelgangers for Moon Girl and Devil Dinosaur, but as someone who recently picked up the original Devil Dinosaur 1 and 2, more than happy to have a new iteration of that in the collection. We've got Alpha Flight Special. This looks like a book from the 90s. Can I tell what year it is? 92. It's a Alpha Flight Special 92. And of course, we've got good old Wolvie here at the bottom. I don't recognize really any other character except Snowbird, maybe. And that's, her changing into the white owl there. Also have, I don't know what title this is. Junk Rabbit? I think that's what's written over here. Not familiar with this book, but it's from Image. by creator Jimmy Robinson. Really, really cool cover. That was issue 4 of the series. Oh, and then one more, Moon Girl and Devil Dinosaur. Issue number... Oh, okay. Issue number 30. I had a blank there. I blanked out there a bit because it said reintroducing Devil Dinosaur. So maybe Devil had popped out for a bit. Next, I have a few Moon Knight books, and I have Dan to thank for my huge Moon Knight score, with the Stephen Platt covers. I picked up a few issues for, I think these were probably like $1 or $2 a piece, from what I recall. And it has some newer Moon Knight books here. They are taped together. Good thing about Dan also is that he lets you build a box, so you don't have to ship like 1 or 2 books. I'm all for saving on shipping because that's obviously that can be a big dent on any deals you get online. For the Jed MacKay run of Moon Knight, I was missing a few issues. Able to get issue number 5. A variant of issue 6. This is the Villain's Reign cover. Very cool. I'll be sure to put the artist down below since I don't know offhand. And then issue number 7. So picking up a few of those. Again, $1 or $2 a piece. And then the last Moon Knight book here was from I forgot, this is when they reverted back to legacy numbering. So issue 188. It features the first appearance of the character that would become the villain, the Sun King. It's written by Bemis, and I had read this maybe like a year and a half ago. It was a fun storyline. I enjoyed it well enough. Whether I might have going for all these issues, I'm not entirely sure, because I actually picked up a trade paperback of this whole run. There might be a little bit of redundancy, but I kind of think of this one as an issue number 1, at least for 188. And then this remaining stack of books here, we got some bangers. Let's see where to start off with. Okay, so he had some vintage Captain America. We've got issue 192, and I believe this is the first appearance of Moonstone. So that's pretty cool. Then we have issue 207. I don't think this is a key issue of any kind, but it's one I didn't have in the collection, and I'm just happy collecting more Cap. Those two were kind of like a bit of a lower grade. Then we have, this one I couldn't pass up on, kind of a mid-grade copy of The Thing #1. I do love The Thing. He's probably my favorite member of the Fantastic Four. And this was his solo series coming out of the first Secret Wars. Also, this one was only $2, so I can't pass up on that. I forgot the pricing. Cap 207 was $1, and Cap 192 was $2 as well. Then we have Void Rivals #1, and it's the second printing. I got it because I love the Transformers series, and Void Rivals #1 is where they kicked everything off for this new Energon universe, and Jetfire/Skyfire is prominently featured as a surprise at the very end of the issue. So in this second printing, when he's front and center on the cover with the Autobot logo, and priced at $2, I want to rep some Void Rivals in my collection, and with a Transformers variant, no less. Moving forward, I've got an issue of The Incredible Hulk here, 234, newsstand. This is the first time that Wendell Vaughn, with the Quantum Bands, is referred to as Quasar. And I love Quasar. One of the series that I, in recent memory, finished collecting was the 90s Quasar series. And going backwards now and finding some other, Quasar keys. He's not, a much sought after character. This is definitely just a fun little side project for me. And at a very attractive $5, I was going to add it into the collection. And we're only going up from here, guys. I got some Uncanny X-Men. I did not expect to find this. It's the first cameo appearance of Alpha Flight. It's Uncanny X-Men #120. and this is probably like a what did Dan put this at? There's some spine ticks and whatnot, but a lot of my older Claremont era X-Men is well read, well loved, and I didn't want to go crazy on this book as far as spending, and the price tag on this one was $20. So I could not pass that up. I am trying to, in the long term, finish the Claremont run. This is a somewhat important issue with the debut of I think a very important team, adjacent to the X-Men. So Uncanny X-Men 120, did not expect to find that in this sale, and had to snatch that up. Then another, I think we have a lot of Bronze Age goodies here to close out the video. And now I can check off Ms. Marvel #1, first appearance of Carol Danvers. This was a very attractive $23. There's something about the Bronze Age covers, the trade dress, the art style, just the aesthetic. Ms. Marvel has since obviously become a very important character, started her own movies, and I think it definitely has risen in prominence since her first appearance. I mean, granted, there were a lot of, it was a bumpy road, a lot of ups and downs. This is a series which I'm probably not going to go for, but there's a number of keys, like the first Mystique and whatnot, that I would like to track down eventually. So, yeah, Ms. Marvel #1. And the last book, Dan actually put this book as a deal of the day, maybe a month or two ago. I was so bummed to have missed it, because really, it just, first to claim it, gets it. So when it reappeared, or when another copy appeared in this sale, I was going to snatch it right up. And this book is the first full appearance of one of my favorite villains, Avengers 196, the first appearance of Taskmaster. This book here is about, I think Dan put it at about 6.5, so a slightly better than mid-grade copy, which is just fine. I mean, I know this book, I've been keeping an eye on it. It's been coming down since when I first got back into comics, like a year and a half, 2 years ago. And I've definitely seen a lot of like beat up copies out there, but not only is this kind of right in the condition that I want, like mid-grade to slightly above mid-grade, but he was only asking $25 for this book. So going along with those Bronze Age keys, ones that I have been on the hunt for, and ones that I've just interested. I mean, what a great addition. This was one of the books that kind of bounced in and out of my 2025 goal books. That's a list that I was revising here and there. I'm so happy to be able to check that off. And I mean, there's not too many old Avengers books that I'm after, but this was one of them. So excited. It's awesome to hold these in my hand, even just, it takes me a little bit to process. But like with the Uncanny issue, with the first Quasar, I mean, I think a lot of major and minor keys in this pickup. But those are all the books. But let me know down in the comments below if you had a favorite from this batch. The end of the year is quickly approaching, so happy holidays. Thank you so much for tuning into today's video, and I hope to catch you in the next one. Take care.